So many red shirts back, including Katrina Guillou, who has crowded out Panyo Sok here. The work rate has been tremendous. Just beyond Bolden. The Thai supporters visibly stunned as of the moment, alongside their coach Mio Okamoto, who's got plenty to do during halftime. Guillou, perhaps one last chance here for the Philippines. It's a corner kick.
And the referee will let this play as well. What an opportunity.
Crowd on their feet. Can the Philippines find a third right before halftime? Anis's delivery into the box. So close. Quesada gets it onto the crossbar, but it's going to be another corner kick. Look at that. Havoc inside the box. Another ball. And this time, the Philippines unable to take advantage. The halftime whistle is blown. The Philippines enjoying the perfect start to their first final. Jessica Coward getting things started in just the 7th minute, and Katrina Guillou adding on to it in the 19th. The Philippines can sniff their first major title in football, but they've still got 45 minutes to go, Darren.
Yeah, what a fantastic start to this championship. I mean, we are 45 minutes away from making history, and it was really that first 45 minutes that put us in this situation. It's going to be interesting to see what the coaching staff have to say, but the Philippines is in control of their destiny at the moment.
We've got highlight statistics in second half action just around the corner. Stay with us. halftime at the Rizal Memorial Stadium, and what an opening half of football we just enjoyed. The Philippines looking for their first major title in football, and they've approached this one in spectacular fashion. The crowd enjoying themselves, and rightly so, as we take a look at some of the highlights from those opening 45 minutes. You can see the passion from the very beginning, and they came out with the intensity to match, Darren.
Well, we knew that the Philippines had momentum from their last game at Vietnam, but little will we know they would just continue the same way they finished off that game. They were very, very quick going forwards. They were very quick at making sure that they compacted the field when Thailand had the ball, and here's that little breakthrough moment.
Just 7 minutes in, Darren. Little ricochet, and Jessica Coward able to turn it into the net. Perfect start. Not even 10 minutes into the contest, and you can see the pandemonium that took.
But little will we know they would just continue the same way they finished off that game. They were very, very quick going forwards. They were very quick at making sure that they compacted the field when Thailand had the ball, and here's that little breakthrough moment.
Just 7, not even, was clear through on goal, and right before the halftime whistle off the crossbar from Quinley Quesada, they've been peppering this back line of Thailand, and you can expect, you anticipate and feel as if there are more goals in this match to come.
Almost certainly, and when you look at the stats, you can see that the Philippines has, had 7 shots and converted 2 of them. You're always happy of 1 in 5. So the conversion rate has been fantastic. Yeah, there's been a few fouls, but that's just because the game's contested and the Philippines has gone out to try to stop Thailand by pressing them. They're not being dirty, they're just pressing nice and quick.
Thailand have plenty to do in the second half, but so do the Philippines if they want to move on and win this AFF Women's Championship. The crowd enjoying themselves here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. They've got a little bit of time to breathe, but not much, as second half action is just around the corner. First half in the books, 45 minutes to go. The Philippines up 2 goals ahead of Thailand. And if things stay this way, they will win the 2022 AFF Women's Championship. The first major title for the Philippines. What an achievement it would be. And they have performed remarkably well in front of this ecstatic crowd at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. But they've still got plenty of work to come, Darren.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if we went into this game as the underdogs or not. I mean, Thailand being undefeated, but we had the momentum. But we've most certainly come out this second half as the favourites, Jing.
We are underway. Second half action with the Filipinas in red for those who are just joining us. You missed out on an incredible opening 45. Chance here for Thailand. Opportunities inside the Philippine box have been few and far between. Now, Haley Long has been central to keeping the door shut for the Philippines alongside Jessica Cowart and Olivia McDaniel in goal. There's a little pep in the step of Thailand as they enter this second half. If we recall, at the end of the first, they were getting a lot more of the ball, Darren.
Yeah, they were starting to get into the game a little bit more. The half-time break would have been good for both sides to try to reset and readjust. And of course, Thailand know they have to do one thing, and that is they have to take the game to the Philippines. So that's something the Philippines can bank on. They just need to make sure they're structured and organised.
Panya So, captain of Thailand, unable to put her fingerprints on this game quite yet. Meanwhile, the Philippines have had an answer to everything that has been thrown their way. Bolden looking for the back heel as Giyu was making the run in behind. And Thailand looking to create a bit of width. Entry pass, cut out by Cowart. Egesvik looking to play it long for Katrina Giyu. Saw Katrina Giyu, Jacqueline Savitsky, and Sarah Egesvik. All have been tremendous for the Filipinas. As we take a look at Mr. Tolentino, who is enjoying the action here tonight. It's a star-studded affair here in Manila, as everyone has come out in hopes of witnessing history. President Nonong Araneta amongst the crowd. There's been a lot of pressure on the shoulders of the Filipinas, but they don't seem to feel it. At least they don't show it, Darren.
Well, they're really playing a mature game. I mean, being 2-0 up in a final is not always the easiest place to be. I mean, you've got to concentrate. You've got to make sure that you limit your mistakes. I mean, sometimes it's never easy to be 2-0 down, but Thailand have only got one thing that they've got in the back of their head now, is get forwards, get a goal. And the Philippines have got a lot of other things they need to think about, like, for example, limiting mistakes, making sure they're efficient on the ball.
Anis does well to poke it into the path of Quesada. Lovely ball for Eva Madarang. Able to get it under control into Katrina Giyu. Anis lets it run. Bolden. Left-footed strike for Quinley Quesada is off target.
And that's what you need to do. We've got to accept the fact that Thailand will have spells on the ball where they're maintaining possession. But as long as when the Philippines do get it, they can produce end products, create shots, force the through passes. If this goes to 3-0 Jing, it'll be a very, very tough challenge for Thailand to get back into this.
That would have been the 8th shot of the Philippines in this game. It's been a real cutting edge when the Philippines go forward. And Thailand just looking for one. Something to change the tide of this game. Egesvik losing out on the 50-50, but Anis is there to recoup. Anis. Pram not doing enough, but Katrina Guiu is there. Quesada. Looking for the run of Bolden. Caught in 2 minds. Savitsky. Egesvik. Switching sides to Sophia Harrison. Nice little stutter step. Gets a yard of space. Unable to deliver a ball into the box. It's so fascinating to watch the individual battles between the players. This one between Harrison and Pataranan. This time, the Thai player winning out. But Sophia Harrison has been relentless on the left flank. She's been up and down on the wing. Egesvik making herself available. Thailand playing quickly, too quickly for their own good, as there are no blue shirts inside the Philippine half. Egesvik calmly back to McDaniel. Gets it to Bolden. Looking for the whistle, nothing given. And Thailand play on. Savitsky cleans up. Not too many options in front of her, but she finds Guiu. Chetabutter winning possession, but just momentarily. And Thailand doing well to come out on top in that exchange. Looking for the run of Peng Nam. And that's what the Philippines has been so good at doing, just blocking out the passing lanes. And some of the Thai fans here trying to show their support, trying to will on their side to get back into this game.
Thailand just slowly building themselves into some sort of momentum. I'd be happy just keeping it in low rotation, just trying to manipulate the space, trying to, show the Philippines that they can hold passages of play together. But the Philippines, every time it goes into that final third, so quick to press it down.
Bolden. Lovely touch from Egesvik. First time over to Madarang. Ball to chase for Serena Bolden. He's managed to keep it in play. Anything to make a nuisance of herself, Serena Bolden. Egesvik not giving the Thais any time on the ball. Starting to find their rhythm. The Chabakyao. Well worked. Over to the right side. Ball into the channel. And Thailand manufacturing a chance here. McDaniel doing well to challenge. Only half cleared. Thailand. Pramnak unable to find a teammate, but it's straight back to her.
That's the first real chance for Thailand as well. I mean, they managed to fizz the ball across the box. Luckily, McDaniel was able to react, but the Philippines at some part of the game now have got to put their foot on the ball and just try to slow down Thailand in terms of them building momentum, because if they can keep this up for the next 3 or 4 minutes, they're likely to create another couple of chances.
They're starting to find their confidence. And this was a lovely ball in a real dangerous area. And although McDaniel didn't get a touch to it, she did enough to pull it off. Sawalak. It's in these moments where the coaches start thinking whether it's time to change things up, or there's somebody that needs to be introduced to change how things are going. But right now, Thailand starting to find the rhythm. McDaniel gets it out of her feet, but straight to Pramnak. Enjoying their best spell of the game, the Chabakyao. Into the box. Pengnam looking to corral it. Pramnak takes a shot. And not going to be of trouble.
Yeah, and Thailand continue to build pressure on the Philippines. And you can see behind the goals that both sets of players are warming up. And perhaps maybe which coach will be braver to make the first substitution. Fresh legs in the right areas could play a really big part in what happens over the next 10 minutes.
It seems like the Philippines will be the ones to pull the trigger first, but Giyu's got a ball to chase. It's a strong tackle, but a fair one from Ponpirun. Just brushed aside Katrina Giyu. Looking for the touch back to Harrison. Just above Taneanis. The first substitute of the Philippines already stripped off and ready to come on. And now the crowd coming alive and sensing it's time to get behind the Filipinas and to egg them on, to find the energy to suffocate this Thai side. Looking for that diagonal ball and making the connection to Pataranan. Ball into the box. Coward is there. Along with the half clearance. Long range shot. Just wide of the